Hello everybody and welcome to another installment of Fantastic 5. This week we're counting down 5 of the best creator cameos in comics history. One of the earliest examples of a creator cameo is in 1943's All Flash number 9, in which the Flash's sidekicks, Winky, Blinky, and Naughty, try to sell the story of their adventures to DC Comics, only to be turned down by real-life editor and unsung hero of the comics, Sheldon Mayer, because he had already published the story in the very issue in your hands. Since then, various creators have included themselves, their friends, or their rivals as characters to the pages of their comics. While we could never possibly list them all, here are 5 we think you might find cool. Number 5. Animal Man meets his maker. Writer Grant Morrison is famous for writing comics that include metatextual commentary on the art and the medium of comics themselves, in stories like Seven Soldiers and Final Crisis. But one of the earliest and most obvious examples is 1990's Animal Man number 26, Morrison's last issue on that series, drawn by artist Chaz Truock. In this issue, the title character literally meets Grant Morrison, who explains to him that as the writer of his adventures, he is responsible for all the bad things that had been happening to him. In the end, Morrison feels bad for how he's treated his protagonist and helps him out as his last act before exiting the title. Morrison would go on to insert fictional versions of himself that he calls fiction suits in several of his comics, including most notably King Mob in The Invisibles. Number 4. John Byrne, Witness for the Defense. John Byrne's run on sensational She-Hulk was a pioneer in fourth wall breaking, and so Byrne himself was often addressed by She-Hulk and would react on scene like in Duck 'em Up, though he made a notable appearance in issue number 50, his last, in which She-Hulk is seeking out a replacement creative team. But while such cameos might be expected in a comedy book like She-Hulk, Byrne would also make a more surprising appearance during his lengthy tenure on the Fantastic Four. In 1984's Fantastic Four number 262, one of the most beloved issues in Byrne's run, Reed Richards is put on trial for previously saving Galactus' life, after which the Devourer of Worlds consumed the Skrull homeworld, killing billions. Among those who give testimony is John Byrne, who wrote and drew the in-universe Fantastic Four comic book on Marvel Earth, as well as the real world. As the man whose job it is to write about the FF and Galactus, he is brought in to report the proceedings to his readers, a rather strange moment in a beloved series. Number 3. Flash visits Earth Prime. Julius Schwartz is one of the most influential editors in DC history, and as such, made several appearances in DC Comics, including the issue of Superman that was made as a surprise gift for Schwartz's 70th birthday, in which the Julie Schwartz of DC's Earth 1 is revealed to be a homeless man, and Superman saves him by merging him with his successful counterpart from the real world, as well as being a recurring character in the fourth wall breaking ambush bug. But perhaps his best appearance is in the classic Flash number 179 from 1968 by Cary Bates and Ross Andru. In this story, the Flash gets trapped in Earth Prime, aka the real world, and knows that the only man who can help him return to Earth 1 is the editor of his own comic book, Julie Schwartz. With Julie's help, Flash builds a cosmic treadmill and returns home. I should note that Cary Bates, the writer of the story, would later write a Justice League/Justice Society team-up in which he himself was the villain. Number 2. Rock kills Batman, or I Kill You. Bob Haney was a writer who, even among other Silver Age DC Comics writers, was known for his kooky style. So much so that his long tenure on The Brave and the Bold with artist Jim Aparo, in which Batman was known to smile and dig the day, is often said to have taken place in an unofficial alternate Earth known as Earth B. Perhaps the craziest of all his Batman team-ups is Small War of the Super Rifles from 1976's Brave and the Bold number 124. In this story, a terrorist group called the Thousand tried to defeat Batman and Sergeant Rock by holding artist Jim Aparo at gunpoint and forcing him to draw Batman and Rock dying in the literal comic you are reading right now. How does Aparo get out of it? Well, he obviously calls up Haney and their editor Murray Boltinoff, and the team create a happy ending for Batman and Rock, thereby warping reality itself. All this 15 years before Morrison's Animal Man. And number 1, Stan and Jack at the Wedding. As mentioned during the trial of Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four comic book exists within the Marvel Universe itself. This was first established in the early days of the title, in issue number 10, when Dr. Doom shows up at the Marvel Comics offices and threatens Stan Lee and Jack Kirby with the prospect of showing them his hideous face unless they call Reed Richards to their office as a trap. This wouldn't be their last appearance, however. In 1965's Fantastic Four Annual number 3, Reed and Sue are getting married and everyone's invited. And I mean everyone. Pretty much every character that was being published by Marvel in 1965, good and evil, makes an appearance in this oversized story, and even some characters that hadn't appeared in comics since the Golden Age, like Patsy Walker, pop in for the event of the season. Wait, did I say everyone was invited? Well, it looks like these two fellows getting turned away at the door didn't have invitations. Apparently, Stan the Man and King Kirby will have to get the details of the ceremony secondhand. That's all for this week. Join us next time for 5 more cool things. Thanks for watching this episode of Fantastic 5. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comics awesomeness.